Imencha! Toptiddlygaika. And if you don't speak Dutch, that means, honey, where are my pants? No, it doesn't really mean that. But yeah, so thank you for watching and welcome to the second part of the XL600 restoration. Well, let's do some more work on this XL600. Kicked it for about 5 to 10 minutes yesterday, and it almost started once on starting fluid. It kind of did the same thing that it did when I picked it up. The guy kicked it over, put tons of gasoline, shot down the carburetors, and it fired up once. It went, vroom. Usually that means it's going to be okay. Usually that means the valve timing is correct and it's got compression and it's got spark. So when I went after the carburetors yesterday and they seemed fine and I thought I had just a kink fuel line, I was surprised it didn't start. So I think I will go back to the basics and check the obvious. So I'll check the spark, see what it looks like. Is it nice and blue? And check the compression to see if it actually has enough compression. And so I'll get started on that. Okay, let's see what it has for compression.
Okay, 90, about 90. Let's try it once more. 90 should be enough to start it. That's not very good though.
$90, $100. Well, 100, I mean, it seems to have compression. Okay, let's see. Check the valve lash. I certainly think the oil pump works because there's oil leaking out of everything. Okay, intakes are going down and just came up. All right, so that should be the compression stroke. It's got some play. Whoa. Okay, well, something's wrong there. Look at that. That's almost like it's broken. Like the rocker's broken. Well, that can't be good. So this one has play. This one is totally screwed up. Is the valve stuck open? No, the valve is stuck open. It wouldn't have had compression. Okay, well that's totally screwed. Probably gonna have to take the engine out. I'll check the exhaust anyway. Well, the exhaust seems to have lash. It has kind of like too much lash, but that's you know, no big deal. This is a big deal. Massive lash on the intake You know, this system is funny. It's got two decompression systems. It's got one on the exhaust here, which is this one. And it's got one on the intake valves. Yeah, thank you. And which is actuated by the kickstarter. So, I don't know what's going on here. So this is tight now because it's in intake. It's pulling in fuel air right now. Keep cranking it. Okay, this one came up, and this one's just sitting there. It's funny, this one, I mean, this looks like a normal arrangement. You just have a valve tappet, right? And it's got, need a flashlight. I don't see much under. Did it break off under here? You know, like where's the tappet thing? Shouldn't it be longer? Can't really see inside the head. So this other one is different. If you look at this one, sorry, but all the jiggling around, it has this rod here, which I think is part of the decompression system. This rod right down here in between the valve and the tappet. Is that part of the decompression system? Let's see. I don't see it moving. I don't know. Well, I think something is pretty majorly wrong with that. Still though, it should have started. I mean, it can, if it idles off of the left-hand cylinder valve, left-hand carburetor, left-hand valve, then what does it really care if the intake on the right-hand side is not really opening all the way? I don't know. Well, I think the engine's gonna have to come out, and I'm gonna have to double check the work that was done. Oh well, so long for easy fix. Okay, well, back to work on this thing. Where I left off yesterday is found this, and looking at the diagrams online, each of the valves have a sub rocker, they call it, and it's supposed to be right there. This one appears to be missing the sub rocker. So, if that's not put together right, who knows what's put together incorrectly. I also took a look at as I was researching part numbers, there's a California bike and there's a non-California bike. The California bike has a slightly different, or lists slightly different component numbers for the valve train. So when I looked at the engine serial number, it seems to be that this is the 83 engine. So he may have put the 83 engine in the 85, or someone put it in there, I don't know who. I will confirm that later by looking upstairs where I put the other case and go check those numbers. The carburetor seems to be the correct carburetor for the 85 California bike. It has a number on it, and I was able to look that up. So what I want to do is take the engine out, and I will probably do a time lapse on that, but I'm looking around and like every tabletop has some crap on it, and I need to just clean that up. I don't know what happens every time I clean up the shop. Within 30 minutes of working, every tabletop will have stuff on it, and then I won't be able to do any work. And that thing's huge. I don't even know if I can get it out by myself. That might be too heavy. I don't know. I might have to take it apart in the frame. We'll see when I cross that bridge. All right, so I got all these sets of carburetors at Rice-A-Rama for different bikes, and I have to put that stuff away. And I want to clear off all of these benches, and I think I'll go ahead and do that and come back. Okay, well, I think before I take the engine out, I looked in here and I see the sub rocker is just hanging there. So it's like there, but they didn't put it in the right place. So I think what I'm gonna do is take off the valve cover, and I'll check that out. And while I have it off, I will check the alignment of the valves, the cam timing for the valves, to make sure that is on. So that's what I'm gonna do. So, okay, so I'm gonna take the carbs out again so they're out of the way. Be kind of a pain in the neck if they're in the way. Choke cable. Loosen this one up. Good, and okay. Is it just that easy? Let's see. Oh, okay. Doo-doo. Okay, I'm gonna take this upper motor mount off, get it out of the way. Doo-doo. Okay, take this decompression cable off. Okay, take this oil tube off. It's like an overflow. You know, this is a funny system. If you look at this system, let's take a look at that for a second. The oil tank is in the frame. It's a dry sump, they call it. So they put the oil in the frame here. This is where you check it. And it gets to the engine through these leaky oil lines. Isn't that nice? Leaking everywhere. Look at this. Ugh. So this one's leaking. I can't tell where it's leaking from. I don't know if it's just dirty and it's leaking from there. Or, you know, I mean, that has oil on it. This line here goes down and feeds this one. So, and it's got oil on it. and you can move it around. I can't imagine that that's correct, that it's supposed to have no pressure on it. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I will find out. Okay, so what's next? The rear, the Kickstarter decompression cable. I'll take that sucker off, and then I will start taking the bolts. Okay, just stick that over there for now. Fine. And I'll get the rest of the bolts. So I've got this bolt right there. And how the heck am I supposed to get that out of there? This one here, you can take the cover off and tilt it a little bit and you can get at it. But how the hell do you get at that one? Ugh, isn't that weird? Trying to figure it out. Well, I have to say, that's one hell of a design. I mean, this is a 1/4-inch drive. There's just no space at all. There's no way to do it. And you're supposed to torque it, so what the hell? I'm flying blind a little bit because I don't have a manual. I ordered one, it's on the way, but I think since it's got oil all over it and I'd have to troubleshoot that anyway, I guess I'll just take the engine out. So I'll do that. All right, so first to come out, take off the exhaust. Looks like 12mm. Okay, gonna get some of this hardware out of the way. Let's get the shifter out of here. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, oil. Let's get the oil out of it. 17, yes. Now there's another drain. You have to drain the frame, apparently. Oops. It's a nice mess. Mess. the exhaust off. $13 on the bottom, $14 on the top. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Flanges off. I think if I wiggle it, I can get it out. Okay, here we go. This all seems very familiar. Wonder why that is. Okay, let's get rid of this oil line. I have to get myself some big metric wrenches. It's always a problem. Okay, there's that. Now this was loose when I got to it, so I'm curious if it will tighten. Let's see. What size is it? Not 19. Okay. It's as big as I have. Try an American. Okay, it will tighten. It was just loose. Okay, it's one. Another one. Okay, here's the next one. $17. Yep. Okay. Okay. There's that. Let's take this foot peg off. Okay, Kickstarter, I think I'll leave that on. And what do I do with the rear brake? Let's see.
Drum brake. Clean that off.
Okay, more tension on there. This is the actuator for the tail brake light, the rear brake light. Yep. Gee, I'm just doing this and I'm thinking to myself, it's gonna be a long time until I can actually do a wheelie on this stupid thing. Oh well. Let's see, what is that, a 12? Might be hand tight. Nope. Loosen that all the way up. Got it off up top. Okay. There we go. There we go. Right. It's out of the way. Electrical is out of the way. Right, take this sprocket cover off. Right. Now. Okay, it's right there. Let's get it off.
Just ordering the chain. Not that that matters because it doesn't run. Okay, for you. Let's see. It's actually pretty tight. I did not loosen the rear wheel, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it the car way. Excuse me. This, of course, is not the proper way to take the chain off. Maybe if I bring every screwdriver I own over here to work. There you go. Okay.
Whoa! This is not good. Look at that garbage. That's about the worst sprocket I've seen. Okay. So it's gonna get me for a sprocket. 7 sprockets, I guess. That's what that one looked like. Yeah, right there, you can see it. It's kind of swept, it's bent. So I'll be putting sprockets on it if I ever get it to run. Okay, let's start taking the motor mounts off. I don't know if the camera caught that, but the whole frame pulled away from the engine. So obviously there's a spacer of some sort that's missing, and when they crunched the thing in there, the whole frame bent inwards.
Those ones. Okay.
Front engine mounts are out. Just one in the back, I think. Right there. If you can see it in there. Okay, so is that it? Okay, did I get all of them? Well, you would think I got all of them because this is not attached to anything. Why is it not attached to anything? Well, it's attached to this side, and there's supposed to be a bracket that attaches, so quality work there. So we'll take that bolt out. Okay, I think everything's out. This looks pretty damn heavy. I have no idea how much it weighs. There is an engine mount that is in between pieces of the frame that has to get out of there. And I have to be careful about not destroying these oil lines. So let's see here. It's not that bad. Oh. Okay, here we go. All right. And I'm doing this after work, and I'm pretty tired now, so that's it. Well, shop is a bit of a mess. Having taken the engine out, get rid of that oil, and clean up a little bit. Okay, that looks a little better. Got the engine over here ready to take apart. Cleaned up a little bit. Cleaned up the oil, put all the pieces over here in a box. Got some labels. Oh, maybe not that one. But, for instance, what does that say? Sprocket cover. Organization. Went upstairs and searched through all the parts. Found a couple of oil lines that are not covered in oil. I don't know if they're any good. Found this intake manifold gasket. This one does not have one. This head does have one, so it looks like they left that out. A whole bunch of Honda bolts, stuff from the other engine. This header looks maybe just a little bit better than the other one. I might use that. And I wanted to bring down this head and cover to compare it to that one. Well, thank you for watching part 2 of the XL600 restoration. What did we do? We figured out that someone put the valve cover on incorrectly, so the sub rocker was hanging down. That's not the reason it wouldn't start. We found that it had good spark, it had compression, not great compression, but compression. We found out that we couldn't take the valve cover off without taking the engine out, and then a good amount of the video was taking the engine out. I don't know if I showed too much detail. I'd love to hear comments. Is that too much detail? Is it not enough? I don't know. Everybody probably wants different stuff. And then I put the engine up on the table and got it ready to take apart. So in the next episode, we will take the engine apart, figure out what the problem is. We do find out what the problem is. Obviously, I'm doing these videos after the fact, these intros and outros. And we'll put the engine back together and see how it goes.